welcome to another episode of the DJ Force X podcast. I am joined by a gentleman called Cory Marks. He is a Canadian country rock artist. He's also a pilot, an actor, amongst other things. But Cory, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Barnaby. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you having me on your show.
Oh, absolutely my pleasure. It's been a little while actually, truth be told. I tried to get hold of you because you've been in England. Um,
Yeah.
Earlier this year, you played a big country music event at Wembley Arena.
Yes,
Uh,
C2C.
yeah, and yeah, I did actually try and get you on the show for them, but they couldn't secure me a long enough slot for it because obviously it's
Okay.
podcast. So I think it was mainly radio they were sort of getting you for at that point. This was through the UK press agency. Um,
Right.
but then this opportunity came up through Better Noise, and I was like, yes, because I've been wanting to talk to you since Sorry for Nothing, what is now Sorry for Nothing Part One or Volume One,
Yep.
because you're about to release Volume Two, which we will talk about in a bit. But yeah, no, it's been a little while coming, but no, it's quite it's not it's a weird one because I'm not a country music listener as such, because being from England primarily,
Right.
we get the hits of a certain degree if they decide to
Hmm.
come over here.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously there is a market over here. Don't get me wrong, but like national radio stuff like that don't really cover it. And like I said before, we went on recording here. I lived in the States, and that's where I kind of heard a lot more because I had the radio on.
Yeah.
The radio would play that sort of stuff,
Especially in Florida.
especially in Florida. Yes, indeed. Um, but then I got sent your music a couple of years back, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Because it came from like a rock PR. And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
maybe they're venturing into country." But actually, you incorporate, I'd say, alternative rock into your sound, or hard rock if you want.
Hmm.
And you've had some guests on previous releases and stuff like that, which we will talk about again in a minute. But what I'd like to do, because I'd like to sort of get your origin story, if you will, because you've got a quite a good, colourful, from what I've read, a colourful background. But if you wouldn't mind giving us the short story about the origins of Cory Marks, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I'm from North Bay, Ontario, Canada. It's 3 hours, 3.5 hours north of Toronto, and big hockey military city. So I grew up playing hockey and was on skates by the age of 3 years old. But um, I ended up really loving the drums as well. So my
Okay.
music, drumming was my first, instrument and my first real, love for music really. And of course, dad being from Toronto, grew up on a lot of Rush, Deep Purple, Ozzy, Bryan Adams, of course, but also on the country side of things like Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, and Brad Paisley, Shania Twain. So that's really where that real mix of country rock kind of came into my life. Because I was really able to grow up on some great music. Um, and then as that progressed into my teens, um, I got into more progressive stuff like Dream Theater and Lamb of God and that kind of stuff. Pantera, of course.
Of course, of
Um,
course.
so I've always really admired that rock and hard rock stomp of rock and roll, but storytelling and country music. But that being said, I didn't really pick up a guitar till I was, I guess, the end of high school. Um, and but I also had a huge passion for aviation. So my dad and I and my family been going to air shows since I was a little kid, and we had this festival called Heritage Festival where I
Mm.
grew up in North Bay. And so during the day that weekend, from I believe something like 12 to 4, it was this crazy air show, which was really cool. I know you guys have the Red Arrows. I got to see them last year in Toronto for the first
Nice.
time, which was wonderful. Um, and but then at nighttime from 6 to 11, there was some of the biggest bands in the world that played all weekend from Friday to Sunday. So I grew up on airplanes and music of all kinds, country, rock, metal, all that good stuff, and of course playing the great Canadian game we call hockey. And
Yes.
I know you guys love your hockey over there too. My brother actually played in Sheffield and Coventry.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Okay.
yep, yep. So he spent some time over there. Um, and Dundee, of course, in Scotland. And so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Yeah, grew up in North Bay in a hockey military town, and found love for aviation and drumming and music in general. And fast forward to all this stuff, I was actually enrolled as I started getting my pilot's license when I was 18 years old. Enrolled into the Military College of Canada, the Royal Military College of Canada, with hopes of being a fighter pilot.
Hey,
But it didn't work out as planned, and I started, really enjoying, caught the bug, as they say, playing the guitar live
yeah.
and singing. And again, fast forward to 15 years later, and here I am.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, it's quite a varied background in that respect. I was like, obviously, being in Canada, ice hockey is your national sport, really.
It
Um,
is.
and yeah, we've got a couple of teams here in England. I'm near Guildford Flames, are the team
Yep.
that are down this way. I'm also near Farnborough Airport as well, which hosts the Farnborough Air Show every year, which is quite a famous like air show here in England.
Yeah, I've actually heard of that.
Yeah, it's Farnborough's I believe it's the home of British aviation. I think that's what they class themselves as. But yeah, we have like obviously Red Arrows go over. We have the old B-52 bombers go over the house. So at least once, or once every couple of years, you get these like low rumbles, and it's just jet fighter planes and all the
Love
sort
it.
of like yeah, all the sort of like military ones that are kind of like old, or you've got like
Yeah,
new
yeah, the
ones.
Spitfires and
Yeah, yeah. So
yep,
the old displays going on. But other than that, the
love it.
Learjets are sort of in and out of that airport quite regularly. Gulfstream have got their own like thing there and everything. So
Yep.
yeah, it's quite and yeah, like I said with hockey, I grew up playing um a sport called roller hockey, in fact, which is
Yes.
kind of
I
like
played roller hockey.
cool.
Yep.
The British version's slightly different, I believe, in the name. I think rink hockey is probably the term I think it is used for it over where you are and over in Europe. But yeah, I played that. I was a defenseman, if you will.
I was a goalie, actually,
Oh, all
believe it or
right,
not, in
nice.
roller
I
hockey. Yeah.
would have been in front of you trying to stop that ball coming through.
We
Ah,
appreciate it.
and yeah, I got to play for my country, playing that sport and everything. Just I got one sort of
Wow.
experience in that. But yeah, no, I recently found my skates. The bearings need a bit of work, but they're literally just there. I'm just looking at them there. Hopefully get back on them. But yeah, no, I used to play hockey as well, and it was great. I used to go watch ice hockey all the time. Because it was always fun to at least watch. And when I was in the States as well, I've got Tampa Bay Lightning because I was based in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Had a pretty good
Yeah.
NHL team in that respect. At
Yep.
the time, they did win the Stanley Cup and everything. So,
I got to play Emily Arena with Five Finger Death Punch and
oh
Brantley
really?
Gilbert in 2022, and that was quite the experience. Really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's quite a nice venue that one as well. But yeah, no, like having this like crossover of like alternative rock and country, it's a really nice blend that you put across.
Thank you.
Because what I've heard like metal bands cover country songs before. Actually, in fact, Lamb
Thank
of God, Devil Driver, and I can't remember if there was another band involved in that, but they released a covers album about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
Think I
I'll have to I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was just a bunch of like country music covers, like classic country songs and stuff like that, but done
Wow.
in the
Lamb of
style.
God?
Yeah, Lamb of God. I'll have to look it up for you because I can't remember the name of it.
Amazing.
But I had Randy on the show around
Yeah,
just after that released, I think it was, and Lamb of God releasing something else. But
that's really cool.
yeah, I'm gonna look it up now because I've got it in front of me. So Lamb of God. Hold please. um,
Elevator music. Cue
yes,
elevator
elevator
music.
music. But yeah, I can't. It's not coming up on here at the moment. But I'll look in a second. But no, so back to your music. Obviously, I think last year was it last year you released
Yep.
Sorry for Nothing, Volume.
Yep.
On that album, you had a couple of guests. You had Sully from Godsmack.
Yep.
Um, yeah, Travis Tritt and Mick Mars, who have actually prayed with you on your first album as well.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that song, Make My Country Rock, it's really just a testament and kind of a song about who I am and what I do. I love country music and I love hard rock, and I think that song is a perfect mix and blend, of course, with the features, that being a country music icon like Travis Tritt, and then having rock legends like Mick Mars and Sully Erna of Godsmack on a song that literally says "Make my country rock." So, um, Yeah, and the title track "Sorry for Nothing" is one of my favorite rights that songs that I've ever written, and I think it really kind of gives you an idea of who I am, where I come from, what I've been through, and where I kind of what I kind of plan to do, and how I keep how I'm planning to keep going.
Yes.
And then of course we have Volume 2 coming out October 3rd, which I'm really
Yes.
excited about. Um, which will feature the special acoustic version of "Sorry for Nothing,"
Yeah.
but also songs like recently released "Hangman" and a new country song. Well, there's going to be a lot more on there, but a featured track coming out with the album called "Whiskey River," and I've been teasing that a little bit on my socials, and it's a
Nice.
really fun song.
Yeah, I was gonna say I listened to Hangman when it got sent to me, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other tracks as well. Are You With Me was another one that was
Yeah,
released.
are you with me? Yes, that'll be another one. Yep, that's on
uh,
the album, and
and Different Kind of Year as well, which is a great
yes,
song. I'm gonna
thank you,
say
thank you.
one of those like ones you can have playing. Like literally, the song is about that kind of like gathering of friends, barbecue, etc.
Absolutely.
But it is the perfect song for that. Weirdly, well, I mean, not weirdly, but with country music, it tends to have that kind of like vibe to it. You can put it on as background, and
Yep.
one of my colleagues where I work has recently got into country music as well, and I've pushed him in your direction. So,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
so hopefully he'll be listening to.
Anything to make me come back over to the UK would
I,
be absolutely wonderful. I loved it over there, and I've always dreamt of playing there. So when I got that opportunity at C2C, it was,
yeah,
and the fans were incredible. It was really just, I couldn't believe it. We played at 11 in the morning in front of O2 Arena. We started, there was maybe 600 people, and
yeah,
within like second or third song, there's 3,000 singing every word. It was wonderful.
yeah. I unfortunately I missed it. I was invited along, but I couldn't actually make it to that day, which
We'll
sucked.
just have to do it again. That's all.
Well, this is it. You're gonna have to come over here. I mean, you're about to hit the road with Sevendust. I mean, that'll be.
Yeah,
I've not seen Sevendust in years, to be honest with you. Um, um,
that's
but
cool.
I'm a huge fan of theirs. Like, when they have come over here, and when I was living in the States, they came through where I was living quite often, so it was quite good. I got to see them live and bands that it was great. I'm gonna move back there at some point, but but it was great seeing these bands. But you're about to head off in November uh
Yeah.
starting in Columbia. Is it Missouri? Missouri, Emma?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. And it's 22 shows across the U.S. from December 14th to December 12th. So I'm really excited to meet these guys and get out on the road with them. And I've heard a lot of great things about them. I heard they're really great guys and a really great show. I listened to their live album, acoustic live album from 2002. And I guess now they're doing it again, and they've invited me along for the ride. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice. Excellent. No, so I mean, it looks like a good show. And like I said, when I first saw it, I was like, that's it's brave. But you do play with these bands at
Yeah,
the same time. So I'm
yeah.
like, obviously you're taking a full band with you, I suppose.
I'm doing it acoustic. It's just gonna be me, my guitar, and the songs and
Oh,
the
wow.
people. I did it last year. Same thing, concept with Theory of a Dead Man.
Yep.
Did 18 shows across the U.S. and they were full band, but acoustically. And I opened up the show with just me, my guitar, and the songs.
Oh, wow. That's oh, that sounds awesome. Another band,
Yeah,
Dead Man. They don't get over enough. Um,
we got to make that happen.
yeah, you got to bring them, bring Seven Dust,
Yes,
bring yourself, fly them over
yes.
yourself, get a
You know
plane.
what? I might just have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do what Bruce Dickinson does, just fly a huge
Oh yeah,
commercial
right.
liner and um, and go on that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's your album's out on October the 3rd. It's out via
Yep,
Better Noise. I've had a few Better Noise artists on recently. It's been quite nice to sort of have your sort of like your label mates and stuff on here. But how did
definitely.
that relationship come from with Better Noise? Because I'm always interested to see how bands sort of get attached to labels
Well,
such like that.
so when I was, I was on tour with Toby Keith in Canada. God bless him, of course. And my manager at the time grew up with and was friends with a pretty legendary rock producer by the name of Kevin Churko.
Mhm.
And one of our stops were in his hometown, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, up here in Canada. And Kevin came out to the show and saw me and wanted to see kind of what I was all about, wanted to see the live show. So, long story short, there he was waiting for me in my green room after my performance with two shots of Jack Daniels, one for me, one for him, and said, "When can you come to Vegas and start working on new music?" And man, ever since his album Black Rain, like that's one of my most memorable albums, Black Rain, just by Ozzy, of course, just because of the time I was graduating high school, and I just loved the album. And when I got into the singing songwriting thing, I remember driving to Toronto to fly out to Nashville, and when I first started listening to Black Rain with my dad, and he'd mentioned the producer Kevin Churko, said, "Hey man, he's a Canadian guy," and but I remember just being like, it would be so cool to record country music with this kind of production,
Mm.
with, country music with Aussie production, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And long story short, 7, 8 years later, I'm working with the one and only Kevin Churko, and we put some music together, and ultimately, he was working with Five Finger Death Punch and some other bands that were on, like Hell Yeah, that were on Better Noise Music
Yep.
or 11-7 at the time. And he brought our project, which was 5 songs, which included Outlaws and Outsiders and Blame It on the Double, and brought our songs to Better Noise. And long and behold, I became the first country act on Better Noise Music, and still around, going on album number 3 now with Sorry for Nothing Volume 2.
Yeah, no, that's amazing because, like I say, you're the only country actor on there out of all those sort of heavy rock artists that are on there.
Hmm.
But no, it seems to be a great match because you seem to have like incorporated yourself into that world very well. Like I say, on your first album, you had Ivan Moody and Mick Mars and Travis Tritt and
Yeah.
Lzzy Hale.
Yep. Lzzy Hale.
Yeah,
Yes.
she has a voice and a half. I've seen them multiple times live, and
They're so good.
I am just blown away. And her voice lends to so many different styles as well. So, because she's got the sort of like strength and the grit in the kind of like for the rock and metal.
She's got it all, man.
Yeah, madness, absolute madness. How dare someone have everything?
Just
Um,
right.
but yeah, like I say, you got album out again, October 3rd, everyone. You can go listen to a
Yes.
couple of tracks now. You can stop this, go listen to it, whatever you want to do. But I've got a couple of questions left for you
All
before
right.
I let you go for the rest of your day, if that's all right. What I want to find out from you are your 3 most pivotal records in your life. Now, they're not necessarily your favorite records. I'm not asking for top 3 records of all time. I'm asking for the
Right.
ones you heard when you were younger, or you heard even last week, and it changed you somehow. So the one that made you want to play the drums, that made you want to play guitar, made you want to,
Yep.
you know, if there was one that made you want to fly a plane, who knows? Um, Highway to the
Yeah,
Danger
well,
Zone. That's a hell of a song. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I was gonna say you got Top Gun shirt on. But yeah, so if you could pinpoint 3 records, it can be albums, it can be individual tracks, it can be anything like that, but ones that really kind of like just changed you and like just like I want to do this or
I think for me, growing up, I'd have to go back to my childhood. Like I mentioned earlier, starting with drumming, and if I could pick 3, um, honestly, Moving Pictures, Rush,
nice.
Black Rain, Ozzy Osbourne, and I'd say Reckless, Bryan Adams.
Oh wow. Okay.
Those would be the 3 that. I mean, there's also one that really helped me motion that rock and country vibe was always also Chief Eric Church. His album Chief was a turning point for me.
Nice. Well, those 4 records, in
That's
fact.
4.
You got 4 are great. I mean, Rush, I love Rush. I've always loved Rush.
So good.
My DJ name is actually from a Rush song, believe it or not. Um, there's a song they did called Force 10.
Yes, yeah, that's crazy. I was literally listening to that's the last song I listened to on when I was landing here in Nashville
Oh,
yesterday.
excellent.
Force 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just changed the 10 to an X because it's like the Roman numeral and it just kind of
Yes.
flowed a bit better. But yeah, that's where it's from. It was that song.
Cool.
And I was just like, yeah, I don't know why. It just suddenly like, yeah, that was it. I was gonna make it that. Ozzy is Ozzy. Ozzy is legend. Ozzy is forever, if you will. Yep. There's not much I can say. I've loved his music for long. It went in Sabbath, in his own
Yep.
stuff, and when he's his I've seen him live. I saw him live, I should say.
That's one.
I saw
That's one act I never saw, and I wish I would have had the opportunity to. But I did watch when I was younger in high school. We would me and my guitar buddies would pass around a bottle of vodka, mix it with juice boxes while watching Ozzy live in Budokan.
nice.
Keeping it hush from mom and dad, of course, because we were
Of
only
course.
14 or 15.
I was gonna say they noticed though.
They know.
You know,
They know.
they knew. They knew.
They know when their liquor cabinet's watered down.
Exactly. They and marks around the back of the thing to see it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been there. I'm trying to watch my kids do that at the moment. Um, so I'm paying for it in like, that future karma.
It comes around, I guess, huh?
It does every time. But yeah, finally, obviously you've mentioned a couple of these things already, I would have thought, but hobbies away from music, and I'm gonna say away from flying, because I know that's probably a hobby of yours.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
what else do you have anything else that you do? Any sort of things you collect, or do you go
Um,
out hiking or anything like that?
well, I mean, I really like to stay in the gym as much as I can. I think it's good not only physically, and I think it's good for the mental health and the soul too. Just to go get a burn in if whenever. Like not a gym rat, but I like to go at least 4 or 5 times a week. And if I don't, walk the dog for half hour a couple times a day. But other hobbies of mine, I still play hockey when I can in the winter,
Nice.
here and there. But just spending time with, and aside from flying, yeah, just spending time with friends and family, and just trying to live and enjoy the little things, as they say, because those are the most important ones that I think money can't buy. So it's,
Yeah, definitely.
try not to take things for granted, and hang out with the loved ones as much as I can.
Yeah. No, that's such good advice as well, because don't know what's going on in this world for one, but it's always good, always good to like just even touch base with your friends, your family, just to make sure everyone's
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
I go to my parents' house. Like they live about half hour from where Emily and I live, and I still make sure to pop. If I go to the gym, I just, even if it's a quick hello,
Mm,
I always pop in to see mom and dad, and
yeah.
whenever you're on the phone, I'm big on that. I always, since I was younger, always, even when you're pissed off at them,
Yes.
you still say love you when you leave
Yes, exactly.
or hang up.
Yep. Yep. No,
Yeah.
exactly that. Because you don't know if, yeah, I don't want to go down that route. It sounds morbid if I was about to say what I was going to say,
Uh,
but
yeah. You never know.
it goes without saying on that
You
front.
never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm in the same position. I've, only my mum's left kind of thing. So it's kind of like,
Okay.
I do every time I see her, every time we're leaving, even if it
Absolutely.
is in a frustrated manner
Well,
or whatever, it's always that
yep.
of you.
Yep. And before you leave, check the fridge. Check the fridge, see what she cooked, whatnot. Take that
Yep.
and get the hell
Yep.
out.
That's exactly. Raid the liquor cabinet. Just
I was gonna say, check dad's beer fridge, grab a few, grab a snack, hit the road.
But yeah, I just found the Devil Driver album. It's called Outlaws Till the End. It was Devil Driver, but they had like Lamb
Oh, okay.
on there.
I
Sorry to,
I think I did. I have heard of that.
yeah,
I
sorry
have
to
heard of
wickedly
that.
change the trajectory there, but I literally just popped up in front of me. Uh,
That is so cool. Well, thank you. I'm gonna devil. What is it called?
the band is called Devil Driver.
Okay. Yep.
It's Des Fahara from Coal Chamber, if you remember them. It was his band after Coal Chamber.
Okay.
And but yeah, he's friends with, he runs a management agency and stuff, so he's got all these bands on his thing anyway. But he's Lamb of God and that are on there. Hank 3, Wednesday 13 are on there as well. So
I'll
it's
definitely check it
proper
out.
like metal fest on there. But yeah, anyway, back to the hand. Corey, thank you very much. Everybody, check out new album. It is available for pre-order now. It is called Sorry for Nothing, Volume 2. Go to corymarks.com. You can pre-order the CD. I'm big on physical media, so get the
And
CD.
I'll sign it because I ships right from me, so I'll be signing and shipping it to you directly.
Fantastic. So
Absolutely.
yeah, go to corymarks.com for that, for all his tour dates as well, and all that kind of good stuff. But Corey, thank you very much. Good luck with everything, and
Thank you, Barnaby.
hopefully, we will see you in the UK. Um,
2026 UK, baby.
2026.
Let's go.
Definitely, I'll be definitely keeping an eye on it,
Thank you.
because I do want to see you live. I want to see how this translates over in that live setting.
It's a
Um,
lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
good, good. That's what I like about my any live performance I go to. I just want it to be fun.
Absolutely.
I wanted seriousness, I go see Radiohead or something. Um, I'm actually going to see. Who am I going to see next week? Pierce the Veil. Taking my kids to see Pierce the Veil next week, uh,
Okay.
which will be fun. She's now 17, so I don't know if she's going with her dad, but
I think it's awesome. I think it's super important. Whenever kids and their dad or their parents come to my concerts, I tell them all the time to cherish those memories. Very special
yeah,
because it's I think especially if you both love music and come from a musical family and stuff, it's a cool bond and it's a great experience, and that's something I'll remember all of my life is going to concerts. Saw Rush with Dad twice, and he's
oh,
seen him 30 times, but to get to see Rush with Dad,
mm,
I'll tell you this cool concert experience. Um, my grandmother, his mom, was had brain cancer, and she was at like a hospice, and we said our goodbyes
yeah,
before going to the concert, and not quite knowing, I think that was going to be the last time, but with the idea of that in mind, unfortunately. And I remember her being like, "Go enjoy the show, boys," and all that stuff, and she was so funny. And my grandma was amazing, and we get there, and we're sitting there, and then the lights go down and Rush is about to start. And it always gets me a little emotional looking back at that moment because they open with "Time Stand Still,"
mm,
and it was just like, man, freeze this moment a little bit longer, make each sensation a little bit stronger. And like just experience slips away, and all everything in that song is, it's just really like, especially as you get older, it's like, holy shit. And I'll never forget it. For the first 4 or 5 songs, it was like we didn't say a word. We go through the concert, then the air drumming kicks in. Neil does a
yeah,
solo, and we're dancing and singing. And we get on the train to go back home, and I said, "Hey, Dad, can I tell you something?" He says, "Yeah, sure." And I said, when the concert started, and we both just started laughing, and we felt the same thing. I said, I couldn't say anything to you because I felt like there was just this wave of emotion. It would have just been like, if I dared to open my mouth and talk to him. So, and the cool thing was, is he's like, I felt the exact same way. Like we were kind of speechless, and the fact that they opened with "Time Stand Still," it was just like, it's a moment I'll never forget.
that's
That's
unreal.
my Rush story.
That is beautiful, and a perfect place to end this podcast, I believe. But yes, Corey, thank you very much.
Thank you, Barnaby.
Good luck with everything, and I hopefully see you next year.
2026.
2026.
Let's go, London.
Do it.
Thank you, brother.